Hi there everyone, this is Teacher Epper again, and we will be talking about dividing rational algebraic expressions. To start with, let's have a recap about dividing fractions. Example, let's divide 2/3 by 3/6. So take note, when dividing fractions, we get the reciprocal of the divisor and multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. So take note, get the reciprocal of the divisor, then proceed to multiplication. So let's have this example. So we will be getting the reciprocal. When I say reciprocal of the second fraction, you simply reverse. The numerator becomes the denominator now. The denominator becomes the numerator now. That's how you get the reciprocal. After which, proceed to multiplication. You can do cancellation here. So I can cancel 6 and 3. That becomes 2. There are no more common factors there. After that, multiply what is left in the numerator. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. And there you go. This is your quotient when you divide 2/3 by 3/6. Now, let's go to dividing rational algebraic expressions. Take note, when you divide Ra(x), you get the reciprocal of the divisor. Multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, then cancel out all common factors and simplify. So take note also, so this is now the process. If you will divide A over B by C over D, you just copy the first fraction over here, get the reciprocal of the second fraction, that's D over C over here, then proceed to multiplication. That's the process when you divide Ra(x). Now, let's have an example. Let's divide 6ab over 3a cubed divided by 10ab cubed over 8b squared. So what are we going to do here is simply rewrite the first fraction, then get the reciprocal of the second fraction, this one. So the numerator is now 8b squared, and the denominator is now 10ab cubed. Then proceed to multiplication. So in this case, I can do cancellation now. So I can cancel 6 and 3. This becomes 6 and 3. Common is 3. 6 divided by 3, that's 2. 3 divided by 3, that's 1. Common between 8 and 10. I can cancel 8. This is divisible by 2. This becomes 4. 10 divided by 2, that's 5. So 2, 1, 4, 5. There are no common factors. So take note, you do not cancel a numerator and a numerator. So you cannot cancel 2 and 4 here. So what are you going to do here is simply multiply your numerator now and multiply your denominator. So 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 5 is 5. Do the same thing with the variables. So when you multiply variables, you add their exponents. So you have AB times B squared is AB. So take note, there's an imaginary 1. 1 plus 2. The exponent of B is now 3. What about the denominator? Do the same thing. Multiply A cubed and AB cubed. So this becomes A raised to 4. Because take note, you have an imaginary 1 there. B cubed. And let's simplify the variables. So take note, you have 8 in your numerator and you have 5 in your denominator. So you can cancel. Take note, I can cancel B there because they have the same exponent. Now, where are we going to write letter A? So take note, the letter A in the denominator has the greater exponent. So I'm going to write the letter A below in the denominator. Then you subtract the exponents of A. That's 4 minus 1. That's 3. And there you go. That is our quotient. This will be your answer now. So take note, you can also do expansion. Cancel. And you will have the same answer there. Next example. Let's have example number 2. So you have here 12a squared b cubed over 15a cubed b squared divided by 10a squared b cubed over 16a raised to 4b squared. Step number 1. You get the reciprocal. This is the first step. Get the reciprocal. There you go. You just copy the first fraction and get the reciprocal of the second fraction, the divisor. And proceed to cancellation. What's common between 12 and 10? Common is 2. So this becomes, common is 2. So this becomes 6. And this becomes 5. Common between, what are other commons here? Yes, we have 6. Cancel. Cancel this also. So this becomes how much? This becomes divided by 3. This becomes 2. And this becomes 5. So what is left here is 2 times 16, that's 32. Over 5 times 5 is 25. Now, let's multiply the numerators, the variable. Let's multiply a squared and a raised to 4. Add the exponents, that's a raised to 6. Do the same thing with the variable b in the numerator. Add the exponents of b, you're gonna get b raised to 5. The same thing with your denominator, the variable a, that's a, adding the exponents 3 and 2, that's 5. For the variable b, adding the exponents of b, you'll be getting 5 as well. Now, take note, you can cancel b raised to 5 and b raised to 5. They have the same exponent and they are of the same variable. So we now have 32 and 25. Now, where are you going to write the variable a? The variable a has the greater exponent in the numerator. So you write the variable a in the numerator. Subtract 6 and 5, you're going to get 1. So therefore, this is your final answer. Any questions? This is clear, right? Okay, there you go. Now let's proceed to our third example. Find the quotient of, there you go, 8x plus 8 all over 2x plus 4 divided by 3x over 10x. So what's step number 1? Step number 1 is get the reciprocal of the divisor. So this becomes, copy the first fraction. What's the reciprocal of this? It's simply 10x over 5x, then proceed to multiplication. Now let's do the next step. Factor out. So the numerator common is 4 for this one. So you are left with x plus 2. With the denominator of the first fraction, common is 2. And you are left with x plus 2 times 10x over 5x. Now this is now, let's do the next step. This is my favorite part, doing the cancellation. I can cancel x plus 2 and x plus 2 there. I can even cancel 4 and 2. 4 becomes 2. 2 becomes 1. Common is 2. 10 and 5. Common is 5. So 10 divided by 10 divided by 5 is 2. 5 divided by 5 is 5. 1. You cancel x and x. Therefore, you are left with 2 times 2 in the numerator. That's 4. Over 1 times 1 in the denominator, or simply you will have 4 there. And there you go. That is our answer for example number 3. Let's go to example number 4. Find the quotient. So the first step is you get the reciprocal of the divisor. This is now the reciprocal. Copy the first fraction, get the reciprocal of the second fraction. And this is the reciprocal now. So what are we going to do next? We do factoring. So this one is a difference of 2 squares. Therefore, that is x plus 2, x minus 2. All over. For the denominator, common is 2. So you factor out 2, you are left with x minus 2. Let's go to the second fraction. The numerator, it's still common monomial. Common is x. So you have x minus 2. For the denominator, you have 2. Then you have x plus 1. And my most favorite part, the cancellation part. So I'm going to be canceling x minus 2. Are there any common factors that you can cancel out? No common factors. So you are left with what? You are left with, okay, x plus 2. This one. You are also left with the variable x. Write the variable x as the first. And you have x minus 2 there. All over, you are left with 2 times 2. That's 4. And you have the binomial x plus 1. We can simplify this further. So we have, take note, when we multiply x plus 2 and x minus 2, the result is x squared minus 4 divided by, you have 4, then you have x plus 1. Let's do distributive property. Multiply. That's x cubed minus 4x. All over, distribute. 4x plus 4. And there you have it. This is your final answer. I can also accept this as my final answer, the factored form. Okay? So, that's example number 4. So, you cannot cancel 4x and 4x, by the way, because this is a term and this is a term. So, take note, you can only cancel a factor and a factor. You cannot cancel terms. There you have it. Example number 5. Okay. What if you're given this? This is a general quadratic trinomial, but first thing to do is to get the reciprocal. So get the reciprocal, you copy the first fraction, we have it here, and get the reciprocal of the second fraction, we have it here. Now, this one is a general quadratic trinomial. Now, if you're given minus plus, expect that your sign of the factors is plus minus. Let's write the variable x. What are factors of 3 when added? It's 4. By the way, the sign is, it's not plus minus. It's minus minus. The sign is simply minus minus because minus plus man di atong given. So take note, correction there. Our given is minus plus. Therefore, the sign will be minus minus for that. And then, we have factors of 3. When added, it's 4. It's 3 times 1. Okay? Let's go to the denominator. The denominator has a given sign minus minus. Therefore, the sign of the factors will be plus and minus. So you have it here, x and x. What are factors of 3 when subtracted? It's 2. Sir, 3 times 1. That's totally correct. Then the bigger number carries the sign of the bigger term, of the middle term. So the sign of the middle term is negative, and the bigger factor is 3. So negative 3, positive 1, times. This is a difference of 2 squares. So you have x plus 1, and you have x minus 1 all over x minus 1. And the most awaited part, the cancellation part. So I'm going to cancel x minus 3. I'm going to cancel x minus 1. I'm going to cancel x plus 1. And I am left with x minus 1. And this will be our final answer for number 5. And there you have it. Let's go back to the steps in dividing raw x. Step number 1. Get the reciprocal of the divisor and factor out the numerator and the denominator completely. Next step. Cancel out the common factors on both numerators and denominators. Next step. Simplify the remaining expression if possible. So note, do not do this, please. This is a don't. That's totally wrong. Do not do this. Again, do not cancel 4x and 4x because they are terms. You can only cancel out common factors. I hope you learned something today, and thank you for viewing my video. Till next time.